Tamara here from Posh Cat Crafts. Nice of you to join me. In today's video I'm going to show you how to make this gatefolded album. I made this particular album for the Tonic launch on Hochanda for the Memory Book 2 dies. I haven't actually got that album here to show you, but I will put some pictures on the video for you to see, you know, one that's sort of decorated. I have been asked by a lady if I would do one of these tutorials for her, because she wanted to make one and wasn't sure how to do it, but I haven't had her permission to mention her name, so if you're watching, this is for you. Right, what we need to cut out. Now you need to cut out 2 of your spines, and then you need to cut out 18 of your page dies. Now the page die that I'm using is not this, the second from smallest, so it's not the smallest page. It is, let me show you, it's the next size up, so that's the smallest one, and then we're using the next size up. It's a bit difficult to see on the size wise, but then you can work out the sizes by this page, the smallest page one there. So if you're doing the same as me, it's the second from smallest. Now for the first 6, what I would like you to do is on your page, on your sheet, now you can cut 2 pages out at a time. Now this cardstock that I'm using is 260 GSM, so it's quite a nice thickness, but the dies cut beautifully straight through it. So what I'm going to ask you to do for the first 6 is we need to have something so that we can attach our book to our spines with. So for the first 6, we're going to we're going to place our die on our paper so that the non-cutting edge is facing inwards. Okay, so that's the non-cutting edge there, and it's facing in. Now the reason for that is, I'll show you on one here that I've got. It's so that we end up with a nice long piece of spare card that we can use to wrap around our spine. Okay, so that is why we need to do that. Now we need to do 6 because on our album we have a back panel that I've used just one of the just page dies with, so we need that to actually wrap around our album. Now please take no notice of this because I did this one really quickly, so it's not actually finished. I just wanted to show you the workings as such, just the bare minimum of you know, so you can get an idea of what it's actually going to look like when it's not finished, but you know, in the baby stages. So this here I've wrapped around the spine, and the same with this one. Now if you're using the Gemini, remember to take out your magnetic shim, because that I believe that is because it's spongy, it warps the pages a little bit. So with taking that out and then just using the metal shim, you get a nice clean crisp cut. With the tangerine, I think you just use your normal sandwich. I haven't got a tangerine, so I can't comment on that really, but there's lots of information out there. Okay, so that's my first 6 pages cut out. Okay, and you should have them like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim down that edge there. So I'll just use your I would use your trimmer because you really need to have a straightish line. Now I'm not going to worry too much on the measurements at the minute. There we go. So once you've then got your sheet of your page, now I've got two cut out together. Now I haven't separated them because I really want them to be the same in measurements. So we're going to cut up to this line here. Can you see? And then this is going to cut this excess bit of card off, like so. And then I'm going to turn mine over and do the other side because I seem to cut better from the right hand side. So you should be left with that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this edge here of your page at the 5 1/8 mark. Okay, or just there, just over, and then I'm going to trim off excess part of my paper like so. So I'm left with that. Now the reason for that is I want to have this part here quite exact, okay, because this is what's going to wrap around. I wanted it to be quite exact. Now the one underneath is a little bit, I need to just do this one here. It's just a touch over. So remember that's 5 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and then you've got an exact measurement. Okay, so that's 4. Now we need to do the last one. Okay, and then do the same with this one. Put the edge of your cardstock at 5 1/8 and just trim off excess part of that. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to just put them to one side and we're going to cut our spine now. So for your spine you need to cut 2. Okay, so that's our 2 spines cut out. Now you might notice that these are quite long and these are very small. So if you haven't made a memory book before, you'll notice that on your spine you've got, can you just see those little notches there? Okay, can you see them? Well, those little notches denote which album you make. So for instance, because we're making a smaller album, we'll place our page up to those notches and you will see that they then mark where we cut. So in this case I would cut the 3rd one from the top. Okay, so I'm cutting 3rd one from this side and the third one from this side. It's this one here, if you can see. There, you can just about see them little notches there. Okay, so I put these together and then cut 2 at the same time like this, because then you're guaranteed to get a nice straight edge. So I'm actually going to mark where I'm going to cut so that you can see on the camera. So one there and one there. I'm just going to double check. Yep. Okay, so can you see now those marks there? So in it goes. I'm just going to cut on that line. Make sure that your spine is nice and level and then cut. This bit you can throw away. And again, cut. We're going to work on the side that we can see the most. Now this is what I'm going to call as my front side. So for the front side, we only need to put a double-sided tape on two of them, on two consecutive ones. So we're going to leave the first one here, and we're just going to put them on, put our double-sided tape onto it. There's like a fat one and a narrow one. So the fat one you leave on this side, and the two skinny ones which are next to each other, you put your double-sided tape. So you leave this one, two, leave the next one, and then put two together. Now the two together, that works, that's going to be your hidden hinge. Now I try and put my tape as close to the embossed line in the middle. So this is the middle of the two skinny ones. So I try to put it as near to that embossed line as I can, because when this is folded up, you don't want to have double-sided tape showing at the bottom where your page is. So that then is our front. Okay, so we'll do the same to this one. Once you've done your two spines, they should look like this. Okay, so this is the top side. What we need to do is we need to turn them over, and we're going to work with our red liner tape first. Now the red line tape goes on the outside, then you miss the two skinny ones, and then it goes on the next bigger one. Okay, now I might have to keep lifting this up because it is very difficult to see. Now I personally have I've done this where I've folded the card first and then tried to put the double-sided tape on, and it's more difficult. So it's even more difficult than this. So although this might look difficult, it's the easiest way I've found. Okay, so that's our red liner tape. Then we're going to swap to the skinnier score tape, and we're just going to again put it on those two narrow ones, because then this is what's going to help it the hinges stick together. Oh, I've run out. So this is the tape that I was talking about that I used. You can get the red liner tape in 1/4 of an inch as well, I believe. I just like to use the different tapes on the video so that you can see, you know, the different widths. So again, I'm going to do the red liner. Okay, so then that is our spines finished with in regards to our double-sided tape. Now we need to fold. Now you need a bone folder or a scoring tool for this. Again, this looks dirty, but it's not. It's just the markings in the, I suppose, in the plastic. Okay, so if we fold. Now I'm going to fold from the back first of all. Now I always fold that one over and score it down really well. Okay, so you create a nice crease, and then you're going to score in between the two scores, the tapes that you've put down, because then that then creates your hinge. So we're also going to score that over the same way. Okay, so you've created something that looks a bit like that. Okay, right, so now what we need to do, we need to score this line here that's underneath the score line here, underneath the score tape. So we're going to score that the same way. Now it doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to stay that way. I just had a visitor. Hello. Okay, that's going to score over. So when we come to tape that down, which I'm going to do now, you've got a nice hinge. Okay, you see that? So take off the white tape underneath. Yeah. So take off the white tape. Don't take off the red tape yet. Leave that on. Now once you've taken off the two pieces of tape from the first hinge you're going to do, we're just going to fold it over and then burnish that well. That's going to stick. Okay, give it a good old, there we go. And then that's then our first hinge. Okay, can we see? There, that's it there. So we're going to do the rest, same with the rest. Now I'm going to fold the hinge over, and once you've done the one, the others seem to just really slot into place. Okay, and then stick them down. Now you may find that sometimes the double-sided tape doesn't stick. Now what you could do is you could put some double-sided tape on and then add some wet glue in between the hinge, so underneath. But then what you would need to do is you would need to clamp it with some binder clips to keep it so that it to keep it stuck while it's sticking. Going to the last one. Now the last one might be a bit hard because I ended up getting a bit of the red liner tape in the hinge where I couldn't see the embossed lines, so it might take a little bit of pressure, gentle persuasion. I can't get my words out. Gentle persuasion. Okay, take them off and stick them down. Give them a good burnish. This just helps get that double-sided tape firmly stuck. And there we go. So then that is our first part of our spine done. So you need to do the same with the other. So there's our 2 spines that we've done. Now to attach. Now you will need a scroll-in board for this. I've just got a small one. I've also got a bigger one, but for this purpose I'm just going to use the small one because it's obviously smaller. Now we're going to take our sheets that we've already cut out, our pages. This is the back, the front, the back, and the front and the back. Okay, so what we're going to do is we need to emboss. Now, not emboss, sorry, we need to score. So I'm going to score from my top line. I'm going to score down to 1 and 3/8 of an inch. Okay, down that line there. So 1 and 3/8 of an inch. Now as they are 2 together, I'm going to just take that away and do the same with that. Okay, so we need now to attach the spine. So I'm going to do one page first. So this is going to be the back. It doesn't have to be the back, it could be the front, but let's just say this is the back. Okay, so I'm going to put double-sided tape. I'm just going to have 3. Let me see how many lines I can get. Because this is going to take quite a lot of abuse with you opening, closing and turning pages, etc. It's nice to have it so that it's well and truly stuck. So I'm going to use 3 lines of my double-sided tape. Okay, don't have to do this bit because we've also got tape there, but just in case I don't want it showing if my spine doesn't go right down. So take off that tape and take off, I'm going to have to take off all of your double-sided tape. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we need to put it down. So you need the edge of your spine to butt up to the score line that you've made. Okay, like so. Not right on it, give it a little bit of leeway and then stick down. Now don't worry if you've got parts that are sticking up a bit like me, because I didn't really cut that well, because we are going to put a back panel on it so that we'll hide all of that anyway. So that is then our one cover. Now I might use that as the front and then do the back because this is a bit sticky. So you need to put your double-sided tape on again. Again, I'm just going to use 3 lines. Just make sure before I put it on. Yes. Okay. These aren't the best scissors in the world. Okay, so I'm just going to put 3 lots on. I'm not going to put any more than that. because that then, yeah, is going to cover that perfectly. Okay, I might put one on this side and then it won't be seen. Okay, take all the backing off of your tape. I'd like to know if there was a use for the backing. We just think how much of this backing of the double-sided tape we must throw away. I wonder if anybody's found a use for it. Okay, so then we need to put then this one on, and again make it so that it is it's a bit sticky, so you need the first stick, you really need to make sure it's stuck. So there we go. So that's looking like it could be just one card. Now I'm going to cut a bit off there, just to give me a straighter edge. Yeah. So that's good, but haven't finished there, because we now need to add that other spine. So the other spine is going to go. We need to get another one of our pages that we've cut out, but we're going to turn it round like that. Now I'm going to flip it over because this is my best side and I want my best side to show. Okay, so we're going to stick this down so that we still end up then, we've still got a extra piece of so we've got an extra piece of card this side that we can stick our spine to. Now for this I'm just going to use double glue, but I also might put on a couple of strips of the double-sided just to help it stick now. Okay, so I'll put the double-sided on the other side of this, then that will stick that. Oh. Okay, and then stick down. Now try and get it so that it marries up with your page underneath as much as you can. There we go, I think that is me. Just get a bit of wiggle room. That's why it's good to use the wet glue as well, because you can really sort of move it. There we go. Okay, so that's looking good now. Now we can add our other spine. Okay, so again we're going to put a double-sided tape onto this part of the spine. I'm going to start at the top. Remember, just put 3 lines of your tape on. Two and 3. Then you can go ahead and take off all your tape, your red line at the the backing of your double-sided tape off of your page and your spine. and then again try and get it so that it is not right butting up to that scored line that you've made, but just a little way away, just so that it folds nicely, because you don't want it to be fighting with the card because you put it right onto the score. So that then is our front page. Our back panel, now we need to add the second back page. So we need to turn it over because we need to put our double-sided tape onto here. And again, I would start at the edge here. This has already got tape on, so actually no, I'm going to put some on there as well. Again, just put on 3 pieces of card, three strips of double-sided. Like so, and we're going to put tape onto our next piece of card. Now again, I'm going to turn it over because I want my best side to show. That's that side. Make sure. So in here is, just double check. Yeah. So on the inside here you need to put your double-sided tape. Again, remember, just 3 strips next to each other. And then go ahead and take all the backing off your tape. And then we can then stick them together. I'm going to wrap it this way, I think, again. Right, and try and get it. You've only got one sort of shot at this. Try and get it so that it's sort of about there. There we go. Just so that your fold is nice and neat, and then burnish down really well. Okay. Quite pleased with those edges. And then that then is the first of our book. So that is how we put it together. And you will have a little bit of an overlap, but that's okay. I don't mind that actually, because that gives us a little bit to work with. And then when we put our pages in, it will hopefully be, you know, it gives us enough then for the pages to move inside. So as always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate your comments, all your likes, and people that have subscribed to me. Thank you so much, because without you I wouldn't make these videos, because I wouldn't be able to do the things that I love to do. So thank you so much, really do. If you want to follow me and come and say hi on social media, all my links are in the descriptions down below. If you are not a subscriber, please subscribe to my channels, and that would keep you updated with all my crafty videos that come in the future. If there's anything that you would like me to have a go at making, you can either message me or leave me a comment. I do try and comment on everything that I see. If I don't comment straight away, it's because I've not seen it, but I will do eventually. As soon as I see the message, I tend to try and answer them. So with saying that, I will love and leave you, and until later on, bye.